Thank you very much, Travis. I didn't know I'd get a round of applause. Just knowing Don Dahl gives you a round of applause. Truly blessed to be up here to introduce Father Don today. I'm actually standing in for our pastor, Father Dave Korth, who is on a pilgrimage to France with Sacred Heart Parishes and St. Margaret Mary's. And I would say that Don's present role is very, very pastoral right now in the fourth quarter of his career and ministry, and we are very, very grateful to him for being the kind of an assistant pastor for us. And we found out that Don could have been a darn good diocesan priest if given the chance. Our family legacy at the Hausers goes back to the early 1960s when my father felt that entertaining Jesuits, my brothers and all his friends, would possibly get us a little better chance to get into heaven. I'm his son, and the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And so I go back with as far as I can remember of having Don over to the house and entertaining Jesuits and showing them a good time, getting to know them is a legacy of our family, and I'm very proud and blessed to be able to do that to this day with the Creighton Jesuit family. In this award, they talk about unique spiritual virtues. Ignatius talked about unique spiritual virtues. I don't think we know any priests that are as unique as Don Dahl. And who knew that a priest could be a professional photographer? Who knew that a Jesuit could be a lover of fast cars? Did you know we almost lost Don T? He was accepted to Notre Dame and going to flight school at Notre Dame. Didn't know if you knew that. We lucked out on that he didn't go. Very blessed for Don eventually in the Jesuits, unique. He did get his pilot's license, and I remember my brother talking about one of their most solemn moments in the presence of Jesus. And when Don was trying to land that plane, and he looked out the window and said, "Shit, that's the runway?" And they got through that. That was the courage part of Don and my brother, that they fly around a little bit back in those days. I would say Don's passion for his ministry and for photography and videography comes with a commitment. And I think we should tonight pray for those superiors and rectors that tried to manage Don over the years. And one I can remember, and I won't name any names, that rector at Creighton University Jesuit community, and I said, "Geez, you seem awfully stressed with this rector job. What is it about the job?" Herding cats, right? What is it that's so stressful with the community that seems to have you stressed out? And this person said, "You mean besides Don?" So anyway, Don has a secret sauce. And in the spiritual exercises, in the examine, to take time to see where God is, to slow down and see God in crisis. Be aware of God within us. Don Dahl has been doing that his entire life. In photography, in videography, all our lives, we were able to look at what Don did and see from his eyes. You see, Don sees God in himself and photographs and videos where he recognizes him. This group here, and Don's closest friends, we are the most photographed group, and you know what I'm talking about. I mean, no one has better pictures. You know, I always say, this is our family. That's a wonderful picture. It was taken by a world-class photographer. Of course it's a wonderful picture. But Don, you know, his whole life was in native communities, in the beauty of nature, in the crisis situations all over the world, traveled all over the world, has won every award for his photography capturing moments of happiness, sadness, death, the most awful things, you know. But that was so that we could get a view, of what Don saw as Jesus in our lives. And what a beautiful thing. Don's deal, I see my Lord in these photos, and I will share his presence with others my entire life. And this is Don's life. Let's thank him right now for all the times, all the pictures that we've had, for everything that we've seen around the world. This is Don's life. Thank you so much, Don. Don Dahl, everybody.
I know I'm in Omaha when you have a standing ovation, right? Thank you so much. So when I reviewed the previous recipients of the Sword of Ignatius Award, I was truly humbled to be considered in their companions. And tonight, and the companion of my fellow recipients tonight, Steve, Brian, Sharon, and Joe, what a privilege to be in their company. As I look back over my life as a Jesuit, there are so many graces I'd like to share with you. In 1962, I was assigned to St. Francis Indian Mission. What a blessing that was. The very first week I was there, I was asked if I would learn photography for a fundraising effort. It changed my life's direction. One summer, I attended a photojournalism class at Marquette, and I went back to St. Francis for my third year of teaching and had a life-changing experience. As I walked the prairie one night, I was so discouraged with photography. I had been working at it for 2 years, and I still had not taken what I thought was a good photograph. And I was going to give it up. But as I walked, I wondered, what am I going to do as a Jesuit? And I asked myself, what do you love doing? And I answered it, I love making photographs. And then a voice deep inside of me said, stay with the photography. It's the first thing you love doing. Those 3 years of teaching were personally so formative. I grew in confidence as a teacher, and I coached track, a rifle team, and basketball. Brother Wilmot taught me his monster full court press, and that the team won 2 championships. I moved on to theology studies where we learned that the teachings of Vatican II, and we came to understand that voice within could very well be the Holy Spirit. And during those years, I was part of a team of Jesuits who gave 22 student retreats at Creighton University when they were mandatory and attendance was taken. Last May, I went on a retreat, and a friend asked if I ever prayed with photographs. I said, not normally. But then I decided to prayerfully review the book I had done called A Call to Vision, which sums up my 50 years of photographs. Every one of those projects began with that quiet prompting within. In 1974, I was inspired to follow that voice inside, suggesting I go back to the Rosebud Reservation and show how the people live. I returned to Spring Creek, South Dakota, a Lakota-speaking community of about 150 people who knew me well from my earlier years. I lived there, documenting everyday life, and I served also as their parish priest. That photo essay brought my first recognition as a photographer and the attention of National Geographic. I felt a desire to do something similar in Alaska, and I was ready when the Geographic offered me a contract for a story among the Yupik Eskimos. Then, when I was asked to judge the Pictures of the Year competition, reviewing some 30,000 photographs in a 2-week period, I realized how different my work was. By then, I had been teaching photojournalism at Creighton for 25 years, but I wanted to photograph full times. I was granted the Charles and Mary Hyder Endowed Chair. The great gift of holding the Hyder Chair for 25 years allowed me the time to travel the world focusing on Jesuit stories. Thank you. It has been a great joy to be a Jesuit and experience the wonderful friendship with my brother Jesuits and lay friends. I want to thank Creighton Prep for this great honor, and I want to thank God for sending me to Creighton and Omaha. Thank you very much. Oh, the sword. I forgot all about it.